Hello, dear viewer, and welcome to another episode of the Catholic League Forum. I'm Mike McDonald, Director of Communications at the Catholic League, and joining me today is Bill Donohue, President and CEO of the Catholic League, as we take a look at some of the very important stuff that we did this week. Bill, as always, very busy, but probably our most standout top issue, had to have been dealing with the report out of Germany regarding Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI. Can you explain what happened there?
Sure. I mean, it's disgusting, some of the coverage that has been made about him, including by some so-called Catholic sites as well. Let me just say at the outset, I have nothing but the greatest admiration for Pope Benedict. He did the greatest job, better than John Paul II, much better, quite frankly, in dealing with the sexual abuse scandal, and better than Pope Francis. We owe him a debt of gratitude. Now, the Catholic Church did something that no other institution does. It commissioned lawyers from outside the church to do an investigation of the Archdiocese of Munich, which, quite frankly, I don't think they should have done it, because you're just setting up these people to come out and get you. You don't win any plaudits from people by saying, "Oh, look at us, we're so honest, we're gonna put it out there." That's my own feeling. And they did exactly what I thought. They come out with a 1,900-page statement saying that between 77 and 82. When Cardinal Ratzinger, Joseph Ratzinger, who was Pope Benedict, was there are 4 cases that he should have handled better. Now, look, one case did make some news, this guy Hullerman, Peter Hullerman. What happened is this guy Hullerman was involved with sexual abuse of a male. There's always a male, the homosexuals. They're not pedophiles, by the way, people. They're homosexuals. Let's get it straight. He was after a post-pubescent boy, and that wasn't even in the Archdiocese of Munich. But they didn't have a therapist. So they sent him to Munich. Okay, so Benedict is in Munich. What does he have to do with it? Nothing. Quite frankly, they looked at the case, and they did what everybody ordered them to do back in those days. Everybody was saying, you must give these people therapy. All the therapists, the behavioral scientists were all saying we can fix these people. Of course, they couldn't. They oversold their competence. We've been around that block a lot. So, okay. The guy was then given the kind of therapy. After Ratzinger, Pope Benedict, left, he continued on in his predatory ways. Now, where is the coverage of the media on the advice given by the therapist? I mean, maybe they shouldn't have taken it. You can slam the Catholic Church for that. But that was what everyone was expected to do during that time. Benedict himself didn't make the decision. We know that. It was the Vicar General who made the decision to give him the therapy and the like. So, and the other cases were no big potato. Listen, Pope Benedict was the one who came out and they hate him because when he was like the morals police, head of the Congregation of Doctrine of the Faith, he was the one who basically said, we got a homosexual problem here. And even Pope Francis understands that. But he came out with some very punitive sanctions against these people. And of course, he was the one who said, if you have deep-seated homosexual tendencies, you don't belong in the priesthood. He has been hated by the Catholic left and the secular left ever since, and that is what accounts for this, even though he actually defrocked more than 800 priests, all right? And he doesn't get that kind of credit.
Right. So he did a lot, but the media is just out to get him because he's a hardline culture warrior. In another case that we started talking about last week a little bit with the Basilica down in Washington, D.C., it seems like the pro-abortion forces are really attacking the Catholic Church lately. Can you tell us about another recent example?
Yeah, I mean, we had the situation of the Basilica, as you mentioned, in D.C. They project these light beams up there, anti-Catholic, pro-abortion statements. That's the way these people are. That was Catholic for Choice, the Ford Foundation anti-Catholic group. Now we have a group called New York City for Abortion Rights. They did the same thing at St. Patrick's Cathedral. They flashed up all these pro-abortion and very ugly statements. They also shouted obscenities to men and women and children as they're going to and fro the church. That's what these people are made of. This is a desecration. They say they want a confrontation. They have to be careful what they wish for.
Yes, well, they're doing bad things, definitely. Now, Bill, at the Catholic League, we focused a lot last year on Governor Andrew Cuomo and a lot of his misdeeds and just how he's been bad in general, particularly on these religious liberty issues. He's out. but it doesn't seem like the fight is over with the governor of New York. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, Kathy Hochul has been in office now for 5 months. Admittedly, that's not a long time, but she was the lieutenant governor before. Her policies, at least on issues that have interest in the Catholic League and I would say people of any faith, she's not doing a good job. Just take abortion, all right? This woman is off the charts in favor of abortion rights. I don't think most people understand what I'm going to say, that this is actually true. You remember they had a law in Texas somewhat restrictive on abortion? That has nothing to do with New York. This woman has only been in office a few months, and she says, if you're a woman in Texas and you're having a hard time getting an abortion, come to New York. We will pay your way to come to New York, and we'll pay for your abortion. That's basically what she said. I mean, you really have to love abortion in order to pay for somebody else's abortion in another state. On the transgender issue, she's all over the place. She thinks that a male identifies himself as a female, that he can now shower with the girls. I mean, she's accepted that same kind of insanity, this loopy mindset that is prevalent across the country. On crime, she says she stands by the bail reform, letting the guy out as soon as you capture him. Outside of murder, in New York and in many places in this country, you are released. It's catch and released for most of these, including felonies and serious crimes. Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, wants to keep that. And she's also in favor of letting people shoot up with drugs, put the fentanyl, the heroin into them anytime they want. We'll give them a nice syringe. I mean, this is madness, people. And on religious liberty, she has very draconian ideas about when it comes to the houses of worship. Giving them a break, treating them like Costco. No, she treats them in a much more severe fashion. So we've got a lot of different cases like that where she's clearly dropped the ball.
Yes, she has. And dear viewer, if you are interested in reading about this particular piece or anything else we discussed today, be sure to check out our website, CatholicLeague.org. We'll have a link in the description below. But do check it out. We got a lot of great things there. Also, if you would consider giving a like and a subscribe to this video, that would greatly help us get it out. But Bill, we sometimes like to have a little bit of fun at the Catholic League.
Yes.
No, sometimes we come off a little too serious and a little stiff. But we ended this week on a little bit more of a humorous note. Can you tell us about that?
Well, that's your girlfriend, isn't it, Nancy Pelosi? I think that's Nick's over here. We don't see Nick. Nick does all the good work here. Listen, Nancy Pelosi, the devout Catholic, she's always concerned about the poor. Somehow she always manages to put her heel right in their face, though. I don't quite get that. She just announced that she's going to be up for re-election again, and she gave a speech, and she said she's doing it because of three things: our children, our children, our children. This is a woman who's never found an abortion she couldn't justify, including partial birth abortion. She should be very careful about when she talks to us about that. So I kind of reimagined her re-election speech by having a kind of a Q&A between myself and her. It's up on our website if you want to take a look at it. We had some fun with it, and it's all in good fun. Although, in all seriousness, the decisions that she's made against African Americans and Hispanics, never allowing them to have a school choice, that's serious stuff, people. Never mind the situation on abortion and her attitude toward crime and the like, transgender. I mean, it's just off the wall kind of stuff. That stuff we take very seriously. So it's a parody, but that was a good way to end the week.
Yes, a parody, but it still raises important issues
it does,
in a more lighthearted way, but still gets to the cutting edge.
And I'm very happy that a lot of the different other websites picked up on it.
Yes. So, dear viewer, if you have any interest in this or anything else we discussed from Pope Benedict XVI to the parody piece, be sure to check out our website, CatholicLeague.org. And again, if you could give a like and subscribe, that would greatly help. Thanks for watching.